Welcome to Cozy Nights, a nice quiet place where you can leave your troubles at the door and just relax. I'm your host, Noe, here with my friend Michael. So please sit back, get comfortable, and let's see if we can't make you laugh a little, maybe learn a little.
But you started.
All right, guys, we always start Cozy Nights with some breaking news. As breaking as it can be when it's weekly, you know what I mean? I get all this stuff from the Associated Press app, so I will cite the source and I'll read it verbatim, so it's more intelligent than I can say it from my own brain. This one doesn't have an author though, so it came out January 11th, 2024. Fruit stripe gum to bite the dust after a half century of highly abbreviated rainbow flavors.
Really?
So yeah, it's gone. It's done. I guess it was written in San Francisco. So fruit stripe gum, something of a childhood icon for many gum chewers over the past 5 decades, will soon head over the rainbow with its multicolored zebra mascot Yipes, seemingly for good. I don't know the mascot name was Yipes.
I didn't either. I mean, I know about the gum.
Everyone, yeah,
It wasn't that good, but
it was good for a second.
for like the first 5 seconds that you chew on it.
The manufacturer of fruit stripe gum, the Chicago company Ferrera Candy Co., gave the magazine Food and Wine a statement Tuesday that it's discontinuing the product on Wednesday. So I don't know if it's last Wednesday or it's already gone.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming it's gone now forever.
So if you can find them, they're going to be worth something maybe
Yeah.
eventually.
An unidentified company spokesman did the same for CNN. Ferrera did not respond to multiple requests from the Associated Press on Thursday seeking confirmation of his decision. So they didn't really confirm or deny,
Right.
even though they just told Food and Wine.
Yeah.
Food Stripe may have been best known for its oversized packs of spectral striped gum sticks, each bearing distinct fruit flavor that was different flavors. That bitch was one fucking flavor,
It's like Skittles.
and the minute it touched air, it was dry. Each bearing distinct fruit flavor that typically faded away quickly upon chewing. There you go. So we're all on the same page.
We all know.
For years, the packs contained temporary tattoos of brand mascot Yipes, the rainbow zebra, that kids could apply to their arms, legs, and faces.
I do remember that.
I didn't know they had tattoos.
Yeah, they're those temporary tattoo things.
Yeah,
Where you wet the back of them and they stick to you.
I didn't know they had them for gum. Gum chewers often joke that the tattoos lasted far longer than the gum's flavor. That one got me. So notorious for the gum's ephemeral taste that it ended up in a fitting brief gag on the animated sitcom Family Guy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. Yipes also had a minor cult following, especially once the company coined Yipes Stripes as a commercial catchphrase. The gum was first launched by a bygone candy maker, Beech Nut, in 1969, but ended up at Ferrera following a series of corporate handovers and mergers. Ferrera itself is a unit of the Italian conglomerate Ferrero.
Ferrero Rocher.
I don't know, it just says Ferrero.
I think that's the one that makes those chocolates
So there you go. There goes striped gum.
just like their flavor.
I was wondering why at the dollar store they were all of a sudden, they used to be there all the time this last year, and now they're all gone. Isn't that weird? Just finding out something randomly.
Yeah.
That was like a staple of American culture, was stripes.
Like everybody knew that the flavor didn't last. Everybody knew that the sticks of the gum were hard as hell. Like
Everyone knew that damn zebra. Like they say it was rainbow, but I could have sworn it was just black and white.
I thought he was black and white too for the longest. Maybe the main.
Maybe, yeah. All right, so moving on. Well, there's no more gum then. No more fruit stripes for anybody. Not that anyone remembered. I bet you now that it's gone, now people are like, oh, but it's my favorite. No, it wasn't your fucking. Don't you lie.
Well, even in the article, they even say it's like, well, the flavor didn't last very long.
It's like a staple of that gum, basically.
It turns to rubber. It's the Chicago shit.
Let's see. Next one up. This one's pretty dark. This was written by Jonelle Alessio, also from AP. This was written yesterday. Quaker Oats expands recall of granola bars and cereals for salmonella risk. So there you go. Don't eat Quaker's granola. The Quaker Oats company has added 2 dozen additional types of granola bars. They have that much granola bars? I thought it was like 2, like chocolate, peanut butter, dirt.
Then you got s'mores. Then you got
Oh God.
there's a whole list of them.
Cereal and snack bar. Let me start over. The Quaker Oats company has added 2 dozen additional types of granola bars, cereals, and snack foods to a December recall over potential salmonella contamination.
Okay, so that includes their the oatmeals and everything then. on the 2 dozen.
Yeah.
All their
Oh
products.
yeah, I guess there is a bunch of like strawberry and banana and stuff like that.
Yeah, you get all the oatmeals. You get the oatmeal ball.
Just when I was gonna start eating Quaker oats for a healthy breakfast, who figured? I'm doing the whole thing about like now that I can't now. Well, like, oh
Yeah.
come on.
Going back, I guarantee you there's going to be a shit ton of people that want that zebra gum now.
Yeah, probably. The company, which is owned by PepsiCo, which I didn't know. I didn't know Pepsi owned fucking Quaker Oats.
And Pepsi on Lay's too.
Announced they own Lay's?
Yes.
Sick motherfucker.
It's funny because if you work in Oklahoma City at the Lay's bagging place or just the distribution center,
Mhm.
you can't even have a Coke product in there.
I would. My last 2 weeks of working there, I just break a Coke out at the break room. Oh, they'd be so mad. So the company, which is owned by PepsiCo, announced the additional recall in the U.S. and Canada on Thursday. The expanded recall includes Quaker Chewy granola bars and cereals, Captain Crunch bars, Captain Crunch, and select cereals, Gamesa Marvi's cereal, Gatorade peanut butter chocolate protein bars, Munchies Munch Mix, and snack boxes that contain those products. Well, fuck. You think this would be a bigger news report? People dying from salmonella from eating Quaker Oats. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has received at least 24 reports of adverse events related to the products initially recalled, but no illnesses have been confirmed to be linked to the foods. An agency spokesperson said Friday.
So they're doing it preliminary then, just in case.
Yeah, that's smart.
A preventative, like a preemptive thing.
Adverse events can include medical problems, but also complaints about off taste or color of the product. This looks weird, but I'm still eating. The defective packaging or other non-medical issues, the officials say. FDA will continue to investigate the reports.
And it's only, 24 you said?
What?
It's only 24 people?
24 people? 24 reports.
But think about that. Out of 100 and something million,
Yeah.
or 300 and something million people that live in the United States,
In Canada.
plus you add Canada's population. Well, they're so small, but vast area, but small population. But you have that many and only 24 cases?
That's pretty lucky.
That's not much.
Salmonella infection can cause fever, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, and stomach pain. In rare cases, the bacterial infection can be fatal. Fuck.
So it can go into Taco Bell.
Consumers should check their pantries for any of the products listed and throw them away. What about a refund? The company's recall website has additional information and details of reimbursement. Oh, there you go. The Associated Press Health and Science Department receives support from the Howard Hughes Medical Institute Science and Educational Medical Media Group. The AP is solely responsible for all content. Okay.
Oh, they have to do that as a legal thing.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Here's one. No, I don't like that one. Here's one. This is from Peru. Happened yesterday. The title is no author. They're not aliens. That's the verdict from Peru officials who seized 2 doll-like figures. So this is Lima, Peru. Aliens, they are not. That's what forensic experts in Peru said Friday about 2 doll-like figures and an alleged 3-fingered hand that customs authorities in the South American country seized last year from a shipment heading to Mexico. The forensic experts from Peru, prosecutor's office, said the objects were made with paper, glue, metal, and human and animal bones. Oh, fuck. They tried to pass off aliens. The findings quash some people's belief that figures come from an alien center or from another planet, all of which is totally false, said forensic archaeologist Flavio Estrada. That's a great name. Who led the analysis. The conclusion is simple. They are dolls assembled with bones of animals from this planet with modern synthetic glues. Therefore, they are not assembled during pre-Hispanic times, Estrada told reporters. They're not extraterrestrial. They're not aliens. There you go. The prosecutor's office has not yet determined who owns the objects. Officials on Friday would only say that a Mexican citizen was an intended recipient of the objects before they were seized by customs office agents in October. So, some guy tried to pass off with the alien craze some fake dolls. Why didn't he just make them in his fucking house? Why did he have them shipped from Peru to Mexico? That's stupid. Mexican journalist Jose Jaime Masuna and stuff.
Mexican, you can't say.
Hey man, some of these names are off. And some Mexican lawmakers became the subject of international ridicule in September when he went before the country's Congress. Oh yeah, I remember that. Remember the 2 mummies?
Yeah.
Good job. when he went from before the country's Congress to present 2 boxes with supposed mummies found in Peru. Must be those 2. Maybe.
Or associated with it anyway.
He, along with others, claimed they were non-human beings that are not part of our terrestrial evolution. In November, Masan returned to Mexico's Congress with a group of Peruvian doctors and spent more than 3 hours pressing the case for non-human beings that he said were found in Peru, where he made similar claims in 2017. A report by the Peruvian prosecutor's office that year found that alleged alien bodies were actually recently manufactured dolls, which have been covered with a mixture of paper and synthetic glue. So it is the same fucking thing. He just did it again. I'm not a detective, but man, I kind of, if it's the same guy going to Mexico or from Peru to Mexico, it's the same guy.
Yeah.
What's his name? Where are you? The prosecutor's office. Yeah, this journalist, Jose Jaime Masuna. That's you. You did it again. You tried to do it. Why do you keep pulling him from Peru into another country? There must be some like historical alien myth in Peru. So for him to prove it, he has to find the things in Peru.
Isn't that where the isn't Peru where the what's the name of that place? That ancient city
Hooters?
where the old ladies work now. No, God, that's gonna bother me, man.
All right, I'll keep reading. They are not the remains of ancestral aliens that have tried they have tried to present, the 2017 report stated. Experts on Friday showed reports a couple of 2-foot-long dolls dressed in red, orange, and green clothes. They said examination showed the bones of birds, dogs, and other animals were used to create the dolls. Why do you need bones? Well, I guess to make it look like an actual entity.
Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu. Sounds like a condom. Meanwhile, an alleged 3-finger hand was subjected to x-ray examination. Estrada said the very poorly built hand was created with human bones. See, now you should go to jail, honestly, at this rate. Weird. So you have a guy that's trying to pass off bones in 2017. He did it again a few months ago, because I remember like last year, around October maybe, they were like, there was a whole uproar on Twitter about aliens.
That, yeah.
And now he tried to do it again.
What is the end goal here with him? Like,
I don't know. Some people want to feel special that they discover something, so they want to be the Christopher Columbus, I guess.
then go deep sea diving. You'll find some shit that has never been seen.
Yeah, you'll find a fucking goddamn gigantic octopus that'll drag you to the depths of hell.
You'll also find a submarine.
Yeah, well, pieces of it anyway.
You'll find the Titanic too.
All right, so that's the 3 news stories for today. We stay with news, but we move on to historical articles. I got this book here called Common, Curious, and Quirky by Rona Levin, out in 2014. Again, the subtitle is News Stories from Centuries Past. Basically, she put together a series of stories spanning from the years 1729 to 1930. And the reason she wrote is because how fascinated she was with how much society changes, but how little human beings change in general.
Right.
So it's a kind of a glimpse in the past of how much we've developed socially, but we haven't really. Human nature is always the same.
Right.
So I figured I'm gonna pull out 18 stories, but 2 between every episode. So I don't want to read every single one in here. I don't want to do that to 11. But if you like the stories, the little articles I read for you, give the book a try. So we start with article number 1 for us. This is all the way from back 1813, from the Cambridge Chronicle and Journal, the 1st of January. Title, the headline was "Farmers' Exploits Bring the House Down." And by the way, this is Old English, so you have to we'll interpret afterward. On Saturday, the previous Saturday, Mr. Woodier, a farmer from the parish of Leviton in Devon, having purchased 20 pounds, 9 kilograms, weight of gunpowder in Ashburton, took it into a what did he say? I can't even read this. Took it in a bag to the shop of Mr. Chalk, blacksmith, and while waiting for his horse, untied the mouth of the bag. So basically, he was waiting for his horse to get, I guess, his hooves, ironed and whatever. And so while he untied the mouth of the bag to put it in a stone for the purpose of balancing the weight. Unfortunately, a spark of fire from the anvil communicated to the powder, which instantly blew up the house and another adjoining.
So basically, he had a bag of gunpowder.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
He went into the blacksmith shop.
That was reshoeing his horses.
Yeah, reshoeing his horse. He opened it up to throw a stone in there to balance the weight out. And the guy was smashing away at an anvil. and one of the spikes fell into the bag, and it blew up 2 houses. So Chuck, his apprentice, and 3 children were buried in the ruins, but were dug out without sustaining material injury. Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Whittier had an arm broken. The crash was tremendous, and the shock was felt throughout the town. So the whole town just watched it heard an explosion blow up 2 houses. That's a lot of gunpowder. 20 pounds for 2 houses. Kind of like wild.
20 pounds of gunpowder is a lot of gunpowder, though.
Is it?
Think about it. The people that are using muskets and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
like reenactment things,
Yeah.
where they have the pouch of gunpowder. That's a small pouch. There's not much in there.
Mm-mm.
20 pounds of it.
20
Like,
pounds.
think about how much 20 pounds of cat litter is. Like, it's a lot of cat litter.
I'm just saying, like in like the scope of it blowing up 2 houses. I'm like, that's a lot of
My guess is that it also became a dust. Like whenever,
man. I guess it must have been other stuff in the blacksmith shop. It just blew up as well.
oh yeah,
The horse must have been like, they didn't even explain the horse. What happened to the horse?
it died.
Maybe. All right, this next story happened in 1830. Written in the New Hampshire Mercury, 11 September. Fatal recipe for dinner date, which didn't pan out. Not the best title for something as grievous as what happened here.
Right.
And this is bad, by the way. On Thursday last, Mrs. Shaw, wife of Thomas Shaw, Mercer, and Draper, boiled a leg of mutton for the dinner of her family in a saucepan which had some days previous been used to boil arsenic for the purpose of destroying vermin.
Oh fuck.
When the dinner was prepared, Mrs. Shaw sent part of the broth to a young man who was unwell and partook of some herself. The Reverend John Hughes, a Wesley minister who called in, was invited to dinner. He and Mr. Shaw sat down and were in the act of eating the broth when Mrs. Shaw was taken suddenly ill, and as the use previously made of the saucepan in which she prepared the broth returned to her mind, she desired them to eat no more. So she realized, hey, I use this for... She didn't even wash the pan. I don't understand. She made arsenic to kill rats, I'm guessing.
Right.
The next day, she's like, let's make some delicious chicken broth. And then it gets even worse. A messenger was immediately dispatched for medical assistance. The unfortunate woman lingered in grave pain until Saturday evening when she expired. So she ended up dying. The young man to whom part of it had been sent discovered its poisonous quality and threw it from his stuff. So he threw himself up. As did also the Reverend John Hughes. They are out of danger, but Mr. Shaw continues to be very ill. So they threw it up, knowing it was arsenic. But the husband didn't, Mr. Shaw. Neither did the wife. I don't know why. I would have thrown like 8 fingers in my mouth.
But they may have not had the ability to really taste it.
But she got ill immediately. Is what the article says. And then she told him not to eat anymore. So the Reverend threw up. The guy that she said it to threw up. The husband just kept eating it. But he got sick, so he might not make it. Maybe we don't know, actually. I'm making it sound like it's a recent story.
Yeah. He may have not made it either.
Maybe.
Does that not show you back in the 1830?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they weren't using running water then.
Let's be fair here. People aren't as bright as it is today.
It's true.
They'll just,
People would do the same shit.
they would, yeah. They'll mess with like rat poison and then like they'll rub their eyeballs or something. Oh, good job.
Go blind. Yeah.
All right, so now that is it for the news today. The start of our cozy nights. We move on to, of course, the cozy kitchen, where I like to go over a little history that I found in a book. I enjoy trivia, history trivia, trivia in general, and I've got here Uncle John's 4-ply bathroom reader. One of the best. It's still going on to this day. They're still making new volumes. I think they came out in '88, a volume every year.
Yeah.
Along with like spin-off volumes, and I have like 20 of them. Yeah, I know. And I figure if I find something interesting, I'll add it to the story. So this one being food, I decided to add page 33 of this book. So I should tell you what the book is. Uncle Ply's 4-ply bathroom reader by the Bathroom Readers Institute. So this is not my original property. I will always cite everything. I'm not a plagiarist. At least I try not. Unless I yell out some random line from a movie.
They have
But that's everyone knows the line.
Yeah, it's different.
So this one's called A Food is Born. These foods are common, so that you've probably never seen or never even wondered where they came from. Here are the answers anyway. So we find out where some of this food came from. Bagels. So bagels, according to the Bagels Bagel Book.
The Bagels Bagel Book?
Yeah, they got it from the Bagels Bagel Book. In 1683 in Vienna, Austria, a local Jewish baker wanted to thank the king of Poland for protecting his countrymen from Turkish invaders. He made a special hard roll in the shape of a riding stirrup, the bagel, in Austrian, commemorating the king's favorite pastime and giving the bagel its distinct shape. So apparently the bagel is shaped like a stirrup for horses. I didn't know that. That would explain why they're so weirdly curved and with the middle.
Yeah.
Cool.
Huh.
Next up, we got mayonnaise. Originally brought to France by Duke I can't even say his name, Richelieu, who tasted it while visiting Mahon, a city in the on the island of Minorca. I should have probably pronounced these before. It was eventually dubbed mayonnaise with an H by French chefs and considered a delicacy in Europe. In America, it became known as mayonnaise, but for over a century was still regarded as suitable for only the most elegant meals. Can you imagine mayonnaise considered an elegant, delectable meal, you know?
Well, think of what it takes to make it. You have to have good oil, eggs,
yeah.
and vinegar.
Finally, in 1912, Richard Hellman, a German immigrant, began packing it and selling it in jars from his New York deli.
And now you can get that shit for $3.
Yeah, the transformed mayonnaise from a carefully prepared treat for the select few to a mass merchandise condiment. There you go, mayonnaise, everybody.
And now it's almost on everything.
I love mayonnaise. I love it with the hint of lemon, but that's like Spanish. That's like a Mexican thing that I can only get in a Mexican supermarket. I tried to find at Walmart. They don't have it. And we got, oh, fuck. The page fuck off. Fuck. Let me go back. The page fucked up. Sorry. You guys can hear me? We got Gatorade. Gatorade. The famous Gatorade.
I do know where this is from, though.
According to 60s by John and Jordan Javon. I guess they get it from other books as well. Their own data. In 1965, Dr. Robert Cade was studying the effects of heat exhaustion on football players at the University of Florida, whose team name is the Gators. He analyzed the body liquid lost in sweating and within 3 minutes came up with a formula for Gatorade. 3 minutes seems like nothing to come up with a formula, but okay. 2 years later, Cade sold the formula to Stokely Van Camp. Soon annual sales were well over 50 million, and Gatorade can be found at the training tables of over 300 college sports teams, 1,000 high school squads, and all but 2 pro football teams.
That's why it's called Gatorade.
Gatorade, yeah. I remember the commercials they had for a long time, too. We called it Gatorade. All right, next up is 7-Up, a famous soda.
I know this one, too.
According to Parade magazine, in October 1929, just before the stock market crash, St. Louis businessman Charles Lee Gribb began marketing a beverage called Bib Label Lithiated Lemon Lime Soda. His slogan, "Take the ouch out of grouch." The drink was a huge success during the Depression, perhaps because it contained lithium. I was like, when I heard that, I was like, oh, so it's cocaine like fucking Coca-Cola. A powerful drug known for prescribed for manic depressives. The drink's unwieldy name was later changed to 7-Up. The 7 stood for his 7-ounce bottle, the up for his bottoms up, or for the bubbles rising from his heavy carbonation, which was later reduced. I want to try the original carbonation level. That must have been strong as fuck.
Apparently it was like really, really.
Damn. The lithium was listed on the label until the mid-40s. Gee, they used to just do whatever back in the day. You could eat arsenic out of a broth. You could drink. You can just what did they just gave you? What's the morphine for no reason?
Yeah,
they put it in your toothpaste and stuff. God, they used to be free and loose back in the day. No wonder
regulations on it.
No wonder life expectancy was so short. Jesus,
drinking lithium in your soda and Coke in your Coca-Cola.
God. Next up is chewing gum. So this one's American Indians chewed resin from a freshly cut spruce bark, and colonial settlers occasionally chewed a limp paraffin, but it wasn't until the late 1860s that chewing gum became a commercial success. A Staten Island inventor named Thomas Adams noticed that his visiting neighbor from Mexico, the deposed dictator Santa Anna, seemed to enjoy chewing lumps of gum from the sapodilla plant, now known as chicle. Adams decided chicle was better than paraffin and went to market with Adams' New York gum, snapping and stretching. Later, he tried adding flavor and found that licorice tasted best. Still later, he invented a gum-making machine that made a mass production possible. So, a deposed dictator from Mexico was just chewing gum-like substance, and some random guy was like, how did you become friends with a deposed dictator? That'd be like if freaking Saddam Hussein had lived next door to me. You know what I mean? Does that not sound weird?
It does. Santa Ana. It's like
Oh, that was so weird to me.
he's over there chewing the chicle.
This one's wild, by the way. Popsicles, because of how the age of the person, how long they kept it in their memory until they implemented it in mass production. So 11-year-old Frank Epperson accidentally left a mixture of powdered soda mix and water on his back porch one winter night in 1905. The next morning, Frank found the stuff frozen, with the stirring stick standing straight up in a jar. He pulled it up and had the first Epperson icicle or Epsicle. He later renamed it Popsicle since he had made it with soda pop. It was patented in 1923, 18 years later. So he invented the popsicle, and he just kept it to himself for 18 fucking years. Probably shared it with his friends and stuff, right?
Yeah.
He's lucky no one stole the idea, and he patented it in 1823. Weird, huh?
Yeah.
It makes me surprised how people there might be people with like great ideas out there. They just use it for personal use, and we'll never know about.
Yeah.
Last one is the ice cream cone. This one's come out of necessity, as opposed to like invention.
Right.
It happened at the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis, where the hot dog and the hamburger were also popularized. An ice cream vendor who was selling cups of frozen dessert had so many customers in the hot weather that he ran out of cups. In desperation, he looked around to see if another nearby vendor would have some spare containers, but all he could find was waffle concession. He quickly bought some waffles and began selling them wrapped around a scoop of ice cream. The substitute became even more popular than the original and spread around the country. So out of necessity, because he ran out of cups, he invented the fucking ice cream cone. I love invention. I love history because it's the randomest way people find these inventions.
Usually it is that way too, because it's things that you don't expect to happen. Like just some random shit happens.
And there you are. The world has changed forever. For better or worse.
Sometimes both.
Sometimes both. All right, so move on.
Like think about it, the inventor of TNT.
He's like, well, fuck.
It was a great invention, but it was also one of the worst things he said that he ever invented.
I don't blame him. I mean, it made a fucking weapon. He had to have known people would be like, well, you know what I could do with this? The first time someone fucking sharpened a stick, they're like, you know what I could do with this? I can start stabbing people with this. All right, so we end Cozy Nights with a recipe from Women's World. Don't ask me why I read Women's World. That's my own business. This one is from the January 1st, 2024 copy of Women's World. I'll actually explain after this why I read Women's World. Pigs in a blanket. These mini franks are rolled up with a dab of apricot preserves for a hint of irresistible sweetness. You are looking at a serving of 6, active time 30 minutes, total time 45. Calories 327, protein 8 grams, fat 22 grams, 8 grams saturated. Cholesterol 55 milligrams, carbs 19 grams, sodium 842 milligrams, that's a lot. Fiber 1 gram, sugar 3 grams. You basically need half of an 11-ounce package of pie crust mist, one 1/3 cups, 2 tablespoons of apricot preserves melted, 24 cocktail franks, 1 egg beaten to absolute death, half a cup
into submission.
half a cup of spicy brown mustard. So heat oven to 375 Fahrenheit. Line baking sheet with parchment paper. Prepare pie crust mix according to package directions for 1 crust. On lightly floured surface, roll out dough from 12-inch to 9-inch rectangle spread. God, that's a lot of complicated shit. Spread preserves over dough to edges. Cut dough into 24, 3-inch and to 1/2. How are you supposed to know this stuff? How do you eyeball it? To 1/2-inch stripes. Place 1 frank on each stripe. Roll up, overlapping dough ends slightly, then press slightly to seal. Place seamed sides down on baking sheet. Brush with egg. That's what the egg's for, okay. Bake until lightly brown, about 15 minutes. Place mustard in small bowls. Serve with franks for dipping. Yay. I guess you could use ketchup too. It doesn't have to be.
Yes, but that's a huge debate between people.
Wow.
With the ketchup and mustard thing.
Do both. That's what I do. There's also an easy variation. Make them sweet and smoky pigs in a blanket. In a skillet, cook 6 strips of bacon over medium heat, flipping once until brown, 6 to 8 minutes. Cut each into 4. Wrap franks with bacon. Continue with recipe. So that sounds delicious.
Yes, but what's also really good is that you get chicken breasts,
Mhm.
right? You wrap that in bacon.
Mhm.
Then you coat it in brown sugar and chili powder.
Nice. There you go. 2 recipes for you guys.
And that's an easy one.
Not for me. I am horrendous. I could ruin making toast.
It just comes out either it's still the same or completely black.
Completely black. I could ruin a cup of water. If that makes any sense to you people. So the reason I read Women's World magazine, why I have it delivered to my house, is because a while back I was at Walmart and they had these little digests for these things called 2-minute mysteries. It was little 2-page mysteries, like 40 mysteries in total, and they were little solve it yourself mysteries, which I love to do. I love anything that involves me solving instead of just reading a mystery, which is why I love mystery games because I get to solve it. Yay, I feel so smart. And they had these 2-minute mysteries, and in the back it said where the mysteries came from was Women's World. Lo and behold, there was a Women's World copies all over the Walmart too. So I started getting Women's World, and then I realized it was cheaper to get Women's World delivered to your house as opposed to getting it at Walmart. Plus, they give it to you like 2 weeks in advance. So I'm like on the 15th of January. That one's over there, and the Walmart's still on the January 8th. And so I read. So now I basically on page. There's no pages on here. 47. Every time I love reading cozy mysteries is what I call them, and it's a genre where like it's as intellectually taxing as a regular mystery without the gore or the profanity or the like the crazy sex scenes. So if you love mysteries like I do, I'd say check out Women's World. The stories are amazing, not always though. So the story for January 1st, 2024 on Cozy Mysteries is called New York's Splash, written by Janice Curran. And some of them aren't even murders; they're just random. Whatever's something that happens that you have to solve. This one being like a New Year's Eve party at a company called Sew It All, where this woman Trish and her companions were all trying to vie for like the win an award, and the lights go out during the award during some weird like glow in the dark limbo competition. Sounds like fun actually. And someone gets knocked over, and all their drinks fall on their shirts, and they have to figure out who knocked the drinks on the. It's basically it's really easy. Like the way she wrote it, it's really confusing as I'm reading it. But there's like three. It's really obvious. Sometimes you have red herrings, sometimes you don't. This one did not, and I solved it in a minute. But give it a try. I don't know what else to say. I love cozy mysteries, and I'll be reading all of these from these books for a while. So that is it for Cozy Kitchen. That was Cozy Kitchen was over a while ago actually. This was Cozy Mysteries. So that's it for Cozy Mysteries. That's it for the news. That's it for Cozy Kitchen, the news, Cozy Mysteries, which is a new segment I'm doing. And we go to the main segment, which is history. I'll do a quick little story. Also from the 4-ply bathroom meter from the Bathroom Institute. This one is a doozy, by the way. If I can find it. Here it is. The title's Movie of Doom. Getting a job in a movie can be hazardous to your health in unexpected ways. Hope I'm not cutting out all the way. I think I am cutting out a lot because I'm turning away from the mic. So if you guys can't hear me half the time, I'll fix it on the next show. I'm always improving. Anyway, the victims are more than 90 of the 220 working on the film The Conqueror, including director Dick Powell, stars John Wayne, Agnes Moorehead, and Susan Hayward, and dozens of secondary players and crew members. Their circumstances. I can't get a good cozy reading spot. On May 1990, by the way, if you've ever seen The Conqueror, it's where John Wayne dresses up as Genghis Khan. You heard of that movie? You ever seen John Wayne? Now imagine him in Mongol face, apparently. But as bad as they didn't care, apparently. He didn't even want to do the movie, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. Makes me wonder if it was a curse or not. It's basically about Genghis Khan. So on May 19, 1953, the U.S. government tested a powerful A-bomb at Yucca Flats, Nevada. In St. George, Utah, 100 miles to the west, people were fascinated by the event. As Maclean's magazine described it, some of the people went up the hillside outside town to watch the blast. Imagine being outside and watching a nuclear explosion. Man.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen now, not unless there's one in a war.
What else? Yeah, because watch the blast because no one told them not to. A few hours later, Greg ash began to sift over the Black Hill west of the city. It drifted across the lawns, clogged the laundry on the lines, burned the skin of people in the streets. The town citizens were merely instructed to wash off their ash off their body and their automobiles. They were urged not to worry. Like, don't you worry, it's just radiation. You'll be all right. A year later, the cast and crew of the film The Conqueror, a schlock version of The Life of Genghis Khan, John Wayne was Genghis. God, if you ever look up what he looks like, it is fucking hilarious to me. And they arrived in St. George to film on location in a nearby desert. They and the full-time residents of St. George were unaware that the radiation levels were extraordinarily high in the area, and that in fact the entire perimeter may have been contaminated by fallout. The result: John Wayne and almost 100 others, about 45% of the people associated with the filming, died of cancer over the next 30 years. Residents of St. George also had an unusually high incident of cancer. So basically, they went to do a film,
Right.
and they ended up in an irradiated area, and like 45% of the crew, like that's
That's a lot.
it goes on to say that like maybe it wasn't, maybe it was something else that happened, right? But it's too coincidental, you know.
Right.
Like of all the people that went to in the film crew,
Well, it's directly correlated. Like, you had the blast, you had the film crew.
yeah, and then you have like how many, like over the 30 years, then 45% of them dying of cancer. That's a high statistic. I can't. Sorry, that's a really high statistic for, you know, in such a concentrated group.
Yeah, it's almost easily.
It's like that episode of Blue Bound State when they all were getting like what was it? What did they get? Chlamydia?
Yeah.
Because they were all fucking the same sex doll, the sex toy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's the bottom line, was the sex toy. The bottom line here was that they were all filming in an irradiated zone
With fallout.
and look what happened. John Wayne died of lung cancer or something, or he got some type of cancer.
Was it lung cancer? I think so.
So yeah,
There was a lot of people that assumed that it was because he smoked.
must have been smoking that dust, I guess.
Over there rolling those unfiltered cigarettes.
No kidding. Oh man, you ever tasted those? I used to have a friend that used to smoke those, right? And like, he used to smoke cigarettes all the time, and I got used to the regular filter ones. You know, you just get accustomed to someone smoking next to you, and then one day he couldn't find them, so he just got some unfiltered ones. You can just taste
You tasted it
the
there.
fucking thickness of it. Ugh. All right, so that is it for Cozy Nights. We'll try to do a better tightening up of the show. I'm trying to do a 30-minute show for you guys every week, but I don't know how. I need a timer or something. You know what I mean? And
Hey, countdown, yeah.
or I need like something so I know how far I'm going which way. So that was the I'm still tweaking Cozy Nights, but it's gonna be here to stay. Next week be more news, more cooking kitchen, more cozy mysteries, and a little interesting historical event. Cool. And if of any of this copyrighted stuff that I used, if you guys want us to keep using it, please call us. So Bathroom Reader, if you don't mind us using your content, please let us know. Women's World, let me write a mystery for you.
It's like this is all just deployed so that way you can write a women.
Women's World mystery. Yeah.
That's the end game.
I mean, I love this stuff, and if they give us the free go ahead, I would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm stealing their content, so I'm not gonna do everything in the book or everything in their, you know, magazine.
Right.
But I mean, this stuff is awesome to me. I got a lot of books, and I was gonna use this one. What?
I said it never hurts.
And this Rona one for the comic Curious and Quirky is, I love this book. So please don't copyright strike us. I beg you.
See, now you're just inviting it in.
Not really. I'm just, you know, laying out the what's the word? The peace tree or the peace pipe. Like, sit down with us. Let's have a conversation.
Not the olive branch, but the peace pipe.
Oh yeah, that's the word, olive branch.
You're trying to get them all drugged up.
I'm just trying to give them I don't know. Their good graces, I guess. Getting their good graces. End up getting fun. If I did something for Nintendo, you can guarantee they'll sue the shit out of me.
All you have to do is go, did I hear a dead?
Oh yeah.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes for Nintendo. Did I hear a nut?
Just the first little note.
Yeah.